Hi, everybody. This is Mary Ellen. I'm here. Hi, it's good to be here with you. My gosh, I've had kind of a crazy day. A lot of energy going on here. And I'm sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. You know what happened? There are days when intense readings come forward and the energy, something happens. We're going to talk about Chiron moving into Aries, my rising sign. And the fact that we have Taurus and Uranus and Pluto and all the restructuring. So anyway, doing some readings this morning. They were, Spirit says, within the things I just spoke about. So we're going to talk about the full moon, but I just want to share this little story because, as my spirit guides are saying, it's representative. I finished the readings. I was in an altered state, and I went upstairs, took a shower, getting ready for the live stream, and I came down, and I touched the computer, and the whole thing went, it went down. So I spent the last hour and a half begging the universe to help my computer recover. So the stuff of Uranus and Taurus, earth sign, Spirit's talking already about the momentous restructuring. So I don't know why my computer needed to restructure, but it's a reminder to me, just be careful with your energy. So I think that's part of what we're going to talk about, all right? So I've been shuffling the cards. I just want to show you something, and then we'll go forward, okay? So I always clear the deck. And when I do that, cards jump out. So there's the first card, the Death card. So clearly, pardon me, I'm holding it upside down. It came out upright. Clearly, we're in this process. And as we come forward into 2019 and we leave things behind and we restructure ourselves, that's what my spirit guides were talking about. The great restructuring that's been coming forward slowly is now going to come into, Spirit saying high test. Things are now set up. We are ready. All of you that have been preparing yourself, we are ready now. So, we're going to just, as I always do, you folks know who've been following along, I'm not an astrologer. I'm a clairvoyant person, and I've had a really intense, beautiful, mystical existence that led me here to this place that I call Moonrise Cottage, and eventually to YouTube to stream forward the messages that I've been getting from my spirit guides my whole life. And so here I am. And this week, Spirit says this week, talking about the events of the week, we'll get there. We're here to talk about the full moon and how it moves our energy forward, moves us into our set point that we're meant to be in so that we can take up the energy and participate in this great awakening that's happening in 2019. So I'm going to shuffle the deck while I'm talking. Spirit wants me to just shuffle. And I'm just going to retweet. My spirit guides are saying retweet. What that means is I always make some crib notes and I go to my favorite astrology people just so that we can set the groundwork for the cards that are going to come out about what this full moon is about, okay? So it's a super full moon, if you don't know. It is the most powerful one of 2019, coming here right in the beginning of the year. It's going to be the closest full moon, super moon of the year. There are going to be 5, and we are starting that series now. And each one of those super moons is going to be at a 0 point. So okay, Spirit's talking about apogee. Okay, relating how the moon, the cycles of the moon, the full moons especially, and what the implications are for the moon cycle that my guides always talk about. Understand when those apogees come forward at all these 0 points, that is going to be the next moment of shift and change, and we're going to have an eclipse. Eclipse cycles are coming forward. Yeah, look. Okay, I guess that's the first card. New soul journey. we're going forward into the next phase of our soul cycle. We're in, okay, Spirit really wants it. I'm going to put it right there. We're going into the next phase of our soul cycle. All of us together that are here, we incarnated in this time intentionally to be here for this shift and change and to assist it. So Spirit's saying, thank you for being here. And understand that the moment is coming forward. I just did a live stream about what to do when your twin flame or your heart chakra, my spirit guides call them your heart chakra awakening partner. You're going to have many, and they've been talking about it, and it's coming through these apogees. It's really interesting that they're using that term. And it means when the energies and when the moon is literally and appears to be very close to the earth. Beautiful. Okay, I gotta put the deck down. That's a quest of art. 10 of Cups, everybody. The source coming to the surface. And we're talking about within you. In order to capture, that's what Spirit's talking about. Okay, thank you. Well, the energy that comes through in these moments of apogee when the moon is really close to us. So that we can discover the things that are going to come on those cycles. It is a process of discovery, a process of awakening, a process of coming deeply into your energy. All right, so hang on. I got to go back to my crib notes for a second. All right, so what do we got going on right now? So on the 14th, Mars moved into Taurus. A lot of eruptive energy. It's volatile. Social upheaval, social unrest, revolution. And, you know, I just started doing these love readings. Spirit's laughing at me with a little fear and trepidation. I thought, all right, I don't know. I'm waiting for guidance, but thankfully I have Aries, so I just jumped into it. So one of the first things that came out the last 3 days, all about breaking up and coming to this moment of devastation. And then what came forward following the moment of breakup, and Spirit saying, for those that are meant to go through that, to leave a relationship behind, and it may be a relationship with yourself, that's what it's about. Restructuring, awakening. You got Pluto here, Earth energy, Pluto and Uranus, restructuring and awakening. It's fabulous. My spirit guides are loving it. They're cheering in the background. So in the, let's see, still operational second half of the month, Uranus and Pluto square. So that's why all these I think there's a lot of people who are ending relationships, and it's not just with lovers. You know, your job, there's some aspect of a relationship that you're done with, my spirit guides are saying, and you're going to restructure it now. So take those love readings, as my spirit guides always say, in the widest possible. They're stuck on the word apogee. Just understand, any part of your life that you're trying to restructure or that is happening without your direct intervention, Spirit says, that's what's going on. All right, so they always say take heart. So within that notion of Uranus and Pluto square, still operational, according to Pamela Gregory, second half of February, and continuing these demands for social change, upheaval, demands for change, and we're seeing it in the political realm. So generally speaking, this year, and particularly on this full moon cycle, there's this aura of the activation of change, and it gives me a chill. I love it. I love it because my life is changing. You know, I'm doing things that I never thought that I would do. All right, this one to flip out. King of Knowledge, all right? We're sitting in this place now. And this, for those of you that don't know, I'm using the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck. The King of Knowledge transforms and grows, and that's what we're doing. And there's a lot of abundance available. You see the fire energy in the background? So understand that you have risen to the position that you're in. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to confuse myself if I don't put these cards in order. You've grown. The King of Knowledge was a peasant, and he grew into his knowledge and his understanding and his awareness, and it brought to him a constant source of abundance. So that's where we're going. That's what the purpose is of these things that are happening with this full moon. So going forward on the 5th of March, Uranus is moving back into Taurus, bringing forward this great awakening here on Earth that I've been talking about because my spirit guides are chattering in my ear about all of these things. And you see it all over the internet. It's not just me. Spirit says everybody knows. Anybody who's paying attention to their spiritual development and who is, my spirit guides have actually coined a new phrase. They're calling everybody now soul travelers, because although we're going to be doing more learning, the period of growth that was meant to precede this awakening has been finished. And so Spirit's talking now, they're saying more freely, they're going to talk more freely now about your identity as a soul traveler. And I love that, because that's what I've been thinking and desiring and talking about kind of my whole life. You know, people who knew me before I started doing this, Spirit's laughing. If you had the opportunity to ask them, they would say, well, she's a little, you know, she's that kind of stuff, right? So they're teasing me. All right, so 5th of March, we've got Taurus moving back into, or pardon me, Uranus moving back into Taurus. Okay, they're reminding me. Go and find out on all these moon cycles. So we've got this event happening. Where does Taurus fall in your chart? Where is the place that you are meant to awaken in these moments and through the next moon cycle? What's happening for you? And how do you see it coming forward? Do you feel it? Are you having dreams? Are you having heart chakra awakened meetings? Twin flame? Soulmate? Past life connection? Those are being awakened as well. All right, Spirit's saying that's why they asked me to start doing this discussion series. I don't feel entirely prepared to do that. But again, I'm just going to leap forward and trust my guides to do what needs to be done. All right, so let's see. Chiron, which has a 51-year orbit, is moving into Aries. It has an elliptical orbit. It's going to be shifting all of us. So we're going to, okay, sorry, they're interrupting me. Spirit's saying we're going to be tipping our toes into the water now when we make these discoveries about this exalted form of love, the love of the universe, unconditional love, unbounded love, unattached love. That's what my spirit guides talk about. Be careful, because not every twin flame heart chakra awakening meeting is going to be a love relationship. Be willing to understand that and to give those awakening relationships as much due as the twin flame discussion that's been going on for a while is given. Because this transit with Chiron in Aries, it's about the I, the sacred self. Yes, it has to do with ego, but if you look at it on the widest perspective of the move of the planets, Spirit's saying, then we understand that we are being awakened. Our spiritual self is being awakened. And these are, you know, pieces of the discussion, Spirit says, about why 2019 is prophesied to be this giant year of awakening. And it's interesting because many people now are talking about your frequency. So when I did the little discussion about twin flame that's on the channel, if you haven't seen it, you can go look. My spirit guides started talking about spectral signature, and I think that's going to be a big part of the discussion going forward. It has to do with frequency. So your spectral signature, everything that exists here in this place, Spirit saying everything in the universe, has its own particular spectral signature. The way its energy vibrates, the type of energy it emits and creates, and the way that joins together. So it's not just each other that we're going to awaken. I do believe it's a time when the awakening is coming because of the spectral signature of all things that are here vibrating more deeply. moving us toward healing, because that does take in the energy of the universe. Spirit says, if you believe what you believe, right? All right. So it has so Chiron has this elliptical orbit. We're going to go in and out, in and out, in and out. 3D, 4D, 5D. It's the next part of the learning. Spirit says, you know, when you get in the swimming pool and you put your toes in, it feels really cold, and you think, oh my God, I'm not going in. And then, you know, you go in, you step in slowly and gently, and then you back out again. It might take you a while to get in. That's what we're going to be doing, I think. Let's see. And of course, what I'm talking about is states of superconsciousness. We're going to have to attenuate ourselves a little bit at a time. So it's okay if you find yourself stepping in and stepping out. Don't beat yourself up about that. It's not the time for that. Understand that that's what's meant to happen. You know what your set point is. You know what feels comfortable to you. Give yourself permission to be who you are and to take care of yourself, and to know, well, let's see what that's all about. To know that you know what you're doing. So, yeah, okay, love this. Okay, so there's that woman that I love so much. I'm in love with her. Queen of Battle. Mystical healing. These battles that are going to happen with the self as we wade deeper into our spiritual warriorship, we're going to be doing that in conjunction with the universe now. Back and forth, in and out. So Spirit's saying they're just kind of confirming that notion that's been coming through, because we do sit in this place as the King of Knowledge. All right. So, oh, okay. Wow. Sometimes they still surprise even me. So the next point on my crib notes to talk about, let me fix my computer a little bit there. The shamanic nature of what we are experiencing together and what we're going to be experiencing over the year, but certainly, again, focusing on this moon. And so there's the feminine shaman, the moon shaman, Spirit's saying. Although, you know, that's not in this deck, that's not what she represents exactly, but Spirit's trying to illustrate the point of the feminine energy, shamanistic, quiet, the portal. And, you know, we talk a lot about going through the portal. Boy, they're right on it today. But we don't talk about what it's like to be in the portal. And I think that's part of what we're going to learn about. And part of the energy that we're going to take up is to develop the ability to literally step in consciously with our consciousness, our superconsciousness, and our intention to be there. Just be inside the portal and stand there with yourself, Spirit says, to see what's in there. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of widening, Spirit saying, of shamanic types of healing. And they're just going to come to you. And it's certainly happening in within a certain group of my friends. I see it happening. People are having shamanic healing things that are just happening like out of the sky. Well, of course we know it is for a reason, but from their perspective, people who haven't awakened yet to their path, suddenly they are awakened and something happens. And for us generally, Spirit saying, as a society, as a class of beings, it's another moment where we walk toward our initiation and we sacrifice that which needs to fall away in order to take on the mantle of the dedicator of sacred lore. It's beautiful. And we see this woman, the goddess of sacrifice, bestowing the amulet. So it is, again, Spirit's talking about the moon, when this moon cycle comes. It's the feminine energy bestowing, we'll have to see what that is, bestowing the energy upon the male energy, drawing them closer together, helping each other in that yin-yang way that is meant to bring forward also these cycles. And it's the way the yin-yang intersection happens at the moment of apogee. So go look and see what exactly the moon point is where you live. When does the moon come full? All right, hang on, I'm going to grab that. Of course. Yes, we're going to be on a new foundation. Beautiful. This is about having come through your initiation, and it brings you to a new foundation. You've been through a rite of passage, and then we're talking about all of us, all of the male energy, and I'm loving it. It's a very fiery card. A lot of fire energy. That's what this Aries is going to be about when it comes to having Chiron in the mix. So the last time Chiron was in Aries was 1968. And depending on how old you are, Spirit says, if you're an old fart like me, you remember. Because we lived through it. And that's what it was like. Look at that. That judgment of skill. That's the Four of Swords. Okay? And it's a... No, wait a minute. I'm wrong about that. It's Wands. This notion where you sit there, your walk has been transformed. See the beautiful blue shoes? Red dress, Aries energy, cup is full. Lots more bounty where that came from. And we think about our warrior nature. We think about what happens with our passion. Does it overtake us? Do we use it to fight and argue? Do we ponder? Do we take a moment to ponder what it is we'd really like to create? Unity, harmony, love. Spirit just talked about marriage. It's because it would be the Four of Wands. So those kinds of things. What do we want in our interpersonal relationships? As this energy ignites, Chiron in Aries, Uranus in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn. A lot of restructuring, a lot of awakening here on this earth. And with the energy of healing, the fire energy of healing. Spirit's talking about forest fires. All right, so they're talking about the cleansing nature of a fire. So one of the things that I was getting reminded to say, and I actually had forgotten, so thank you, Spirit, was to urge everybody, look, see that? The cleansing nature of fire energy. There we go. And look what's attached to it. I love this. Sometimes my guides are so playful. All right, so this first. Let's just pull it right out. Another new foundation. I think one of the things you can do that'll be fun and fabulous and wonderful. 6 of skill. Another place where we have come into a new foundation. We've gone through this rite of passage. We've become the master now. We have the tools we need to look into the mystery of the universe and use this Aries energy. And by the way, Spirit's saying, by the way, remember, we have Jupiter in a fire sign. So, you know, when I get done, go and sort of stack all this up, look for yourself, and just, Spirit's saying, make some notes so you really understand the moment that we're in and the places where we're going, because we are on a new foundation. Last year, we had retrograde after retrograde after retrograde after retrograde, and eclipse. There was so much going on. And it was meant to bring us to these moments, to review and reshuffle, and Spirit's talking about regrading. Yeah, okay, so they're talking about, I live in a place where there are dirt roads, and they fall repair quite often, and then the town has to come with their big rake machine and just get all the bumps out and just make everything smooth and flat so that people can drive and so that the snowplow can get through and things like that. So that's what they're talking about. So last year was a year of retrograde for the purpose of regrading, so they give us an opportunity to be ready to leap forward again in this way, because we have this very new foundation, because we've been through the rites of passage that the eclipse season brought us to. And, you know, at the end of the year, we had the last 2 retrogrades were Venus and Scorpio. How fabulous was that? It changed my life forever. And Then we had Mercury retrograde. In order to go back over and communicate with ourselves and with each other about all the things that had happened during the year. And it did bring us to all these new foundations. We went through the rites of passage. Now we have Aries. So what Spirit was just about to say before I interrupted had to do with fire ceremonies. So there's a ceremony called Agnihotra. Please go to the internet and look that up. Spirit wants you to start doing it in whatever way it's right for you. I do not ascribe to any particular religious tradition because I do understand that whatever is right for you is what you're meant to be doing. So give yourself the freedom to know that your traditions are sacred to you, and that's what matters. If you can add from within your tradition some kind of a fire ceremony that you do once or twice a month or once a week or once a day, however you vibrate with it, understand that coming forward, that's going to bring a lot of power and a lot of spiritual knowing. Spirit says it's just going to make you feel good. All right, so we saw the initiate, the dedicator of lore, and that's the rememberer. And he has the harp and the type of frequency that's meant to come. The strings are being plucked, Spirit says. And there we go. This is the Imaginer of Harmony, if you don't know. It's beautiful. The Moon card, diving deep into these sacred waters of the love energy that's coming through. That vessel, that's a mythical vessel. You can't tell by the card, but it has golden oars. And you can get in that boat and put your hand on the oars and you stimulate the universe and you can go any place you want to go. And so while we are imagining harmony and we go through this beautiful super moon that ushers in this very important healing that's coming forward because of Chiron. Okay. I got so many cards on my desk. Because of Chiron and its placement and the fact that it is on the world. No. Let your heart chakra awakening partners be who they are. Do not require anything of them. And in a way, that's one of the biggest teachings that we have to go through, I believe, is to put down our prior human, Spirit's talking about preconceptions. Okay. Requirements that come out of our social set point, the way we've been socialized and trained to think, and therefore that affects our emotions, we're going to be letting that go. We're going to be freeing ourselves on this vibration that's coming in, Spirit's saying, in this full moon, in order to have that which creates passion in our lives be free, to be what it is meant to be. And so part of the restructuring is all those things. And there's going to, Spirit always says shock and awe. There's going to be a lot of shock and awe while we're manifesting our destiny. The sacred cauldron of healing, out of which all good things come. Manifestation in love, love energy. And one of the things I enjoy so much about this deck isn't love and art the art of loving, the art of being present with another person, or Spirit's talking about animals, or cats and dogs and things like that, to share a vibration that comes through. So those are the things that the moon is going to help us with every moon cycle. So get ready. My spirit guides always say, buckle up. It's funny because they want us to ride the wave of the energy as we go through. So let's see. Give me a second. I'm going to put my crib notes away. Thank you to shout out Pam Gregory. I love her. If you don't know her work, and Molly McCord or any fabulous enlightened astrologer that you resonate with, go look. All right? And keep following because Spirit says, I can't do that for you. All I can do is make crib notes. All right, let's see. Just as a reminder, once I get these cards organized, I will take a photo and I will put it on the community tab of the channel. All right, somewhere, and because Spirit took over my, they're laughing, they're saying they took over my Superconscious. I don't remember if I showed it to you, but at some point, you know, the Death card came out, right? All right, Spirit, what do you want? They're pushing me. All right, let's go. Okay, we're talking about love. Isn't love just the most fun thing? Okay, they're talking about love relationships. And they're saying, you know, even the heartache is just the most awesome thing. All right, give me a sec. They're trying to get a message through. I gotta focus for a minute, and then we'll chat, okay? Well, that's not exactly it, but I'll show you. That's like on the bottom of the deck, there is contemplation. So yes, we need to contemplate all these things, all these messages that come forward. Spirit's saying keep a journal so that you understand your progress. You're going to have dreams. Ah, of course. Okay. Number 13 in the journey of love. Isn't that lovely? Gifts received. So, of course, all right, there's something else. Spirit's trying to talk to me. I'm going to come over and talk to you until this message comes all the way through. Let me just see who's here. Hi, Tani. Yes, I was late. I'm sorry about that. Hi, Mary Love. Oh, let's see. Hi, Madavi. Hi, honey. I've been thinking about you. I hope everything's going well on your end. It's snowing in Missouri. We have a sunny day here. Thank the gods and the goddesses. Oh my gosh, isn't the weather crazy? 69 degrees, Mary Love. And now it's snow and ice. Yeah, well, that's how life has been here. All right, I think Spirit wants to get a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle because everything I touch, they say no. All right, let's have one more card. Spirit, please give us a message. Okay, what is it? Oh, I know what's happening. Okay, so here's what's happening. Let's see what that is. Yeah, Tree of Life. All right. Spirit saying, steady as she goes. So what was just happening was there was energy streaming through. So when I get messages from my spirit guides, I feel it as an energy. And then, I think I've said this before, and then oftentimes it funnels itself in through my heart. And then eventually my brain gets it. And sometimes it's really rapid and other times it takes a moment. So what was literally what they were doing was sending me a stream. And they were not talking. It was an experience of being in the void and feeling the energy. So they want me obviously to talk about that. Prepare yourself for this experience. I think it's what the cards are talking about. Allow yourself to stand in the stream and have these moments where you really feel yourself as a spirit being. Right? They're talking to me about the types of things I was experiencing when I first started building this house. And the way the stream came through and the way I felt about myself, the way I began to know myself, and having that manifest into my life. Because I've always known on some level I had to grow into my identity. Okay, Spirit's talking about the time when I had the first undeniable physical manifestation of the stream of energy that I carry and that had been streaming to me, when that began to manifest. So Spirit's talking about when that manifests and takes root here, and we begin to twine ourselves together with this energy, we're going to see the manifestation of it in our lives in ways that are very tangible. That's what the message was about. And the first step is when you feel the energy, stand in it. It feels like you're standing in the void a little bit to me. Okay. It's funny, this just came out. So there's a repetition kind of a message, a little bit echoing, my spirit guides are saying, from this, what do you do when your twin flame shows up? Reading that they did. Here's what you do. You stand still and understand that you are having this moment of being in the light, being in the void, being in the tunnel, experiencing the stream of energy, igniting you, because we have this beautiful Chiron in Aries coming forward. So it is about personal healing. It's going to affect the entire planet as we go forward on this cycle of upheaval and healing and joy. The hummingbird. This is about energy. Think about the vibration that the wings of a hummingbird makes and the amount of joy that comes to you when you see one of these creatures. It always feels magical to me. And we just stop and we're mesmerized. So Spirit's saying, when you go through the portal or any moment that comes to you in this year, when we are suddenly feeling a stream of energy, if you can, allow yourself to stop. Spirit's talking about if you're in a big noisy house filled with people, excuse yourself. Go to the restroom, step outside for a moment, and just give yourself a brief moment to stand in it and feel the joy of the vibration, because we're going to literally feel it now. You are going to start feeling the manifestation of it. All of us, I think, in little moments, because Spirit was talking about the way we dip our toes in the pool and the way the elliptical cycle of Chiron is, and the way it goes into a planet and it stays there for a while because of its elliptic nature. Okay, there's another message coming through, something about the eclipses. Okay, it might be, I actually don't know this, but it might be that, I'm going to have to go look that up. Anybody want to look that up on the internet for me while we're chatting? The elliptical cycle of Chiron coming forward this year. What's going to happen on the eclipse point? Where's Chiron going to be? Anybody know? Let me look at the chat. Hi, Geraldine. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I caused so much distress with my lateness. Geraldine, you probably didn't know, but my computer, I short-circuited my computer today. It's happened to me a bunch of times, and in between when those things happen, I always forget. So there was just a lot of energy streaming through me, and I came down to get ready for the live stream, and I touched the computer, and the screen just went blank. So I turned it off. I was having a panic attack, and I just thought, well, again, one of those moments when you just have to trust. If the live stream is meant to not happen, okay, I'll go type a message that says I can't be there today, if possible. So anyways, look. Okay, look at that. Wow. All right, I want to show you something. Okay. Hang on. Spirit says this is the last part of the message. I love the way this is coming out. So check that out. There is a mirror happening. I got to switch over to my other software so I can make sure this is in the viewfinder. All right, look. Spirit says, do you see the mirror? What the mirror is? The ancient ones, the shamans of old, that we are connected to in our soul cycle. It is about inventing yourself, looking forward 10,000 years is part of what this talks about. So that's a lot of ancient wisdom, Akashic records, ascended masters, all that thing. Here, reflecting to us the Andean cross, the portal that we go through, the tunnel that Spirit's talking about, that this vibration is going to come through. So it is something I think that those of us, all right, they're chiding me. Hang on. Because we have been here before, many eons ago, and because the contract that we have is based on ancient wisdom, ancient existences, the intention of our reincarnation cycle, the Spirit's saying this is a mirror of what's happening. All right, so you know what? I'm going to pull them out. Let's just look at the book. I think there's some wisdom. about that. And I don't want to rely on my faulty memory. Oh, telephone. Sorry, gang. So, let's see. Let me... Hi. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, let me just finish this. That was somebody I thought I had to speak to, so I just want to make sure that this message comes out, and then I can return that phone call. So the Ancient Ones and the Andean Cross. When we come into this place where we stand in the sacred mirror, Spirit's saying, it's interesting because you know what? So this, the Ancient Ones, that's the first card in the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And this is the next card. And they are here as a mirror reflection, Spirit saying, of themselves. All right, so the Ancient Ones is about the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. So that's part of the message coming forward. They reside in infinity, and they are here. Those energies are here with us now. And they counsel us when we say yes to our calling. There is an invitation now from that place to come forward into the mystical side of your being and to be awakened. So, Andean Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions and helps us step into these realms. The Andean Cross announces the start of a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane, day to day, to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp. And now allow this new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond, with a resounding yes. So I think that's it for today. Please put some messages on the comment section. I really do want to be with you, and I want to know what you are experiencing to help me understand, and within my own intellect, Spirit saying, what needs to come forward. It's going to help me align with the energy and the messages that are coming through my guides so that I can reflect that back to you in whatever guidance is meant to come. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I hope wherever you are, the sun is shining, and I enjoy the fact that you're here having your soul travel journey with me. Spirit saying namaste. And enjoy the full moon. Make your fire ceremony, clear your slate, and go forward. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. And, all right, Spirit's talking about... So there's another live stream coming forward on this subject. Oh, they're reminding me. I'm going to do a live stream probably now, finally, next week about part 2, if you will, about this shamanistic journey. I think that's why those cards just came out. They want to talk about it in those terms. So we're going to do part 2 of Essential Shamanism. I guess next Sunday. I'm making the commitment right now. So I'll post something about that. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next week. If not before, my spirit guides say. Have a great day. Enjoy your awakening.